Like we.
And has there been violence in the past?
No, there is no. Police use. Yeah, they certainly use some tear gas also. Police use tear gas, water cannon. Yeah. But the farmer protest very peacefully. There is no violence in the protest. And farmer send their message to the government in peaceful manner. Farmer also give a food to a policeman.
Yeah. So what is your age?
I'm 36 years.
36. And what kind of farmer are you?
All
Same.
Same or
Same? Okay.
And are you from?
We're from Delhi.
Delhi.
But Netherlands. We write for a Dutch newspaper
Okay.
called NRC Handelsblad.
Okay.
We've never really came together to do such a big car rally. And that is because everyone's very emotionally attached to their land back home. There's cars, tractors, there's trucks, there are pickup trucks. We're gonna rally all the way to the Indian embassy.
On the first weekend of December, high schooler Navraj Kaur joined Punjabi and Sikh Americans across the West Coast, who'd piled up in thousands of vehicles to cross the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge and protest in front of the Indian consulate. This is part of a worldwide movement in solidarity with demonstrations by farmers in India, who are demanding that their government withdraw a set of laws that could change the way farming there is done forever.
So Prime Minister Modi of India, he introduced these new bills. Now they've become laws and they're all anti-farmers. And for us, especially Punjabis, it's extremely emotional for us because we feel like our sense of belonging is attached to our land. So because of that, we're protesting here.
Punjab is a North Indian state, famous as the homeland of the Sikhs and the country's breadbasket. Kaur's dad, Sandeep Singh, grew up there, farming wheat, rice, sugarcane, and chickpeas. But for the last 23 years, he's been growing almonds in California.
Farming is our lifestyle. And the major is we just want to show support to the people back in India who are protesting. There's an entire world behind them. 15 people from my family, my younger brother, my brother-in-laws, and my cousins, they are over there in New Delhi from last 2 weeks. They have sealed the entire the capital, New Delhi, so they can put pressure on the government.
Over Thanksgiving, Singh and his daughter watched videos of India's riot police firing tear gas and water cannons to try and stop tens of thousands of farmers from marching from Punjab to New Delhi. Their own family members were a part of that march.
Before when, we were at home and all of our people back home they're getting hit, they're getting, water sprayed on them, they're going through all of that. And we kind of felt guilty that we're just sitting here not doing anything. But now that we've all came together for the same issue to get rid of the bills, it really feels powerful.
About 15 of Kaur's relatives are encamped with farmers who have shut down 3 major New Delhi highways since the end of November.
ਜ਼ਿਮੀਂਦਾਰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਵੀਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਇਹ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਸੌਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਮੋਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦੀ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਮੋਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਟਦੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਦੀ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੋਟਲੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਮੀਂਦਾਰ ਆ ਸਭ ਜ਼ਿਮੀਂਦਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਏਕਾ ਹੈ.
And more farmers are continuing to join the camps. People are sleeping in their tractors and under buses, have bathing stations set up, created volunteer-run medical clinics, and, in the Sikh tradition, have massive langars, or free community meals, capable of feeding thousands.
ਸਾਨੂੰ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ 4 ਮਹੀਨੇ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਣਾ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੈਠਾਂਗੇ ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਪਿੰਡ ਨੂੰ ਵਰਤਾਂਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ.
Farmers are also battling stigma perpetuated by India's right-wing media and politicians, that their protests are being sponsored by foreign and domestic extremist groups.
ਚੀਨ ਤੇ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਮਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੇ ਮਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ, ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਤਵਾਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੇ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਆ ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਤਵਾਦੀ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਜਿੰਨਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦਾ, ਉਦੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਤੋਂ, ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਮੋਢੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੋਢਾ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਖੜੇ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਮੋਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਭਲੇ ਲਈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਭਲੇ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ।
The new laws will cut out the role of middlemen and allow buyers to directly contract farmers. They also lift restrictions on artificial price inflation and lay the framework for private markets to replace the government-subsidized ones that most small farm owners currently rely on. By cutting down on the government's role in the industry, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is letting the private sector take the lead on a promise that he made during his first term, doubling farmers' income by 2022. While economists say these new reforms will increase competition, protesters fear that in the long run, they'll give corporations the power to squeeze the average Indian farm owner who has less than 2 acres of land out of their holdings altogether.
ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਅੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ। ਅਗਰ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦੀ, ਸੈਂਟਰ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੀ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਤਾਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਘੁੱਟ-ਘੁੱਟ ਮਰਨ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਮਰਨ ਲਈ ਤਿਆਰ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ।
At least 22 people have died at these protests so far, most due to cold weather. But for some, these laws are a matter of life or death. Thousands of farmers take their own lives each year, and the leading cause is financial duress, according to the government's own data. And it's not just their own livelihoods that they're hoping to defend. India's democracy is at stake too. When the laws were passed in September's pandemic peak, they were rushed through parliament in a voice vote, a process that's sometimes preferred by lawmakers, but not when it devolves into a shouting contest. By parliament's own rules, voice votes like these are supposed to go to an actual count if the call is challenged. But the bill's opponents say they weren't given that chance.
I mean, it's like literally taking parliamentary democracy and shoving a knife into it, killing it.
Millions of workers, backed by labor unions and several opposition parties, are rebelling against Modi's neoliberal turn and join farmers in what's being called the biggest strike in world history. The resistance believes they've already got the Prime Minister on his back foot.
We broke that ego Narendra Modi had, right? He thought that the farmers wouldn't be able to do anything. He thought they wouldn't even understand the bills. He passed them during lockdown, and he thought, oh, they wouldn't really know what to do about it. They're suffocating Delhi right now. So it's huge to them. Even though if they don't show it, we can tell they are scared right now.
On Friday, Modi tried to deflect the blame and said that the government has been discussing these laws for 22 years.
मैं सभी राजनीतिक दलों को हाथ जोड़ के कहना चाहता हूं, आप सारा क्रेडिट अपने पास रख लीजिए।
He wants to negotiate with farmers, but protesters are adamant about blocking New Delhi's roads until the government takes back the laws entirely. And until then, demonstrators abroad plan to keep showing solidarity with their relatives in the homeland.
ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਚਾਲ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੋਰਚੇ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ? ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ
ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀਰੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਐਡਾ ਚੱਕਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਜੇ ਹੋਊ ਕੋਈ 1% ਬੰਦੇ ਦੋਜਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਪੂਰੇ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ।
ਚਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਰੈਲੀ ਹੋਈ ਗੁਰੂਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ 10-12 ਕਾਰ ਸੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ 40-50 ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੁਣ 7:30 ਵੱਜ ਗਏ ਹੁਣ ਹਜੇ ਕਾਰਾਂ ਹਜੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮੁੜ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਐਮਬੈਸੀ ਮੂਰੇ ਨੇ all these videos all these photos gonna go to India Punjab my brothers my families my sisters people who are there at the it's very encouraging for them like once they see there's overseas people getting together in such a huge number in such a big cities and being covered by with this mainstream media so definitely it's gonna make some noise.